Springfield's only pure classic rock station, 104.7 The Cave. I am Flash, and I have Danny Hutton with me today, who founded Three Dog Night in 1968. And they're playing the Galois this Saturday for the Birthplace of Route 66 Festival. How are you doing today? Are you excited about Route 66 Festival?
Absolutely. We'll be. I guess I'll be going out Thursday for about 10 days. So it's great. You know, we usually go out on a Thursday, and I get back on Sunday or Monday. During the summer.
Yeah.
So I love going out. You know, it's we do fly dates, and sometimes we'll have a bus that'll meet us. So it's we've been doing it long enough. We kind of have it down now as far as traveling.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. What I like is that we play every kind of a venue, especially during the summer. You know, we'll be outdoors, indoors, old theaters. We just play with the Philharmonic Orchestra, Symphony Orchestra, and it just keeps it very fresh doing that stuff.
Yeah, the last time you were in Springfield was 2011, right?
Yeah, where was that? A fair.
Yeah.
Think.
It was the Ozark Empire Fair. I for one.
Oh my God, you're doing your homework.
I apologize that you end up in Missouri in August so often, because I think you've played that fair a couple times, and it's always in August. And August in Missouri is the worst.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I got a big Labradoodle here.
Mike the intern has a golden doodle. He has a golden doodle named Guinness, and he's the best.
Yeah, I got it from Brian Wilson, actually, from the Beach Boys.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we were having we went out before Christmas for dinner, and I walked by a pet store, and I saw this little French bulldog puppy, and I said, "That is so cute." So I went home, and a week later he comes to the house with this Labradoodle puppy, and he said, "Well, they sold that dog, so instead I got you this,
this one instead.
95-pound dog."
Which is not a cute little French bulldog. Quite the opposite, actually.
He's great. He's a good guard dog. I'm up in Laurel Canyon, up in Hollywood, so it's good. I'm about 15 minutes from the Sunset Strip, but I bought the house from Alice Cooper, so.
Oh wow!
I get rid of all the snakes. But my wife's father was born in Aurora, Missouri. So, I've got an affection.
So he also knows that Missouri in August is terrible. You managed some punk bands for a while, didn't you?
Oh yeah, Fear, who were probably the best of all of the bands as far as just musically, was incredible. They were really the first speed metal band in a way, and I just loved them. They're John Belushi's favorite band, and Flea was in it for a while.
Yeah.
So that was talk about corralling guys.
Right. That's where you
managing them was
own that skill.
My criteria is has got to be good. But anyway, I like that, and I like every style. We've been on every musical chart except jazz, I would say.
Yeah, but you've been on country charts, you've been on pop charts, rock charts,
R&B charts, rhythm and blues charts. #1 on that too. So we can cover. We can do about anything as far as musically. We haven't lowered the key in any of the songs. We hold the record in Billboard magazine for the most consecutive top 40 hits by any group. But I'm just real proud of the band. Anybody just wondering what it's like to see us, I would just feel like I want you to come and forget about the outside world, be suspended in time, and when we're done, I want people to really like it, but say, "Wow, it just seemed so fast. It was so good, and I forgot where it was, or it brought back memories, and all that kind of stuff." Yeah. And that's what we try to do.
Suspend everything else and just be entertained for a couple hours.
Yeah. I guarantee you, whatever genre of music you like, we'll hit it sometime.
And after all these years that you've been touring, because you've stayed active in touring this whole time, this is the first time that you're going to be playing the historic Galois, which is beautiful. You're going to love it when you see it. For the Birthplace of Route 66 Festival. And that's a really big deal here because Springfield, we like to say that we started it all. And I've been told that you're really stoked because you're a really huge car enthusiast. So tell me a little about that. Where did your love for cars start?
Oh, I lived up in basically under the Hollywood sign. I mean, not directly in a bush, but in fact, I have another house there where I lived from the age of 12. And I rent it out now. But down at the corner it was Hot Rod magazine. That's where they started. And the guy became a huge, the auto museum later on and started all the magazines. So I used to kind of, when I was going to school, I'd walk by and there'd be like a big hot rod out in front. They do photo sessions. So I've started getting fascinated. By the end of high school, I had a 1950 Jaguar XK120.
Oh wow!
I bought for $800, and I was washing dishes at the time.
Yeah.
Then I got a Porsche Speedster, a '57, for $1,300 after I sold the other car, and I kept trading up.
Right.
And
as you do.
So I ended up. I had a Gullwing, Mercedes Gullwing, which I bought for $6,000, and I sold for $195.
Wow.
And an SS100, the first Jaguar, 1937. I bought that for $6,000 and sold it for $165. And then I bought 3 Porsche '89, cars, convertibles, and I just kept on doing that. And finally, one day, my wife said, "That's it." I had the cars in Beverly Hills and on Rodeo Drive in a heat-controlled underground place, and she said, "You bring your friends once a month and walk around and point at these cars you have, and you don't drive them, you don't do anything with them. And I want some furniture."
It's really interesting that Jaguar is kind of what got you into it, because one of my earliest memories is my dad actually fixing up a Jaguar and listening to Elvis in the garage. It's like one of my that's my first memory of cars in general. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a beautiful car.
They really are. My sister very promptly crashed it, but
yeah, but we had no money, and it was one of those things that, like I said, I was just washing dishes, and you got to create your own luck, I think.
And I feel like music is really ingrained into car culture, just like it is with any other kind of culture. But
absolutely.
And the Route 66 Festival in particular is kind of synonymous here with blues and rock, and we have a bunch of classic cars come out in car shows and motorcycles and stuff. It's like a total package that's expected here. And it's a defunct highway now, but
yeah,
really cool.
I became a big fan of. I wasn't a surfer, but I became a big fan of the Beach Boys, and then they did a couple of those car albums, and that was the first time I ever smoked grass. Listening to a Beach Boy album, and then it's crazy. I ended up I was Brian Wilson's best man at his wedding, and so to come all the way weird full circle is crazy. Yeah,
awesome,
I was there when he did the whole Pet Sounds album, which I probably voted one of the best albums ever. So I kind of went to college musically by listening to him, and learning how good a song. That's the thing I think I've learned. The biggest lesson I learned was how good a song. A recording has to sound in the studio to make it sonically on a radio. Be so big sonically that your clothing moves. For the bass, the impact. And I didn't know that at first because you're young and you just play. You cut something in and you kind of play it back on big speakers, and it sounds really great. And then I'd get home, and it sounded really thin. I said, "Why? It doesn't sound like it." And I realized later. I remember going back to the RCA studios, and I said, "What's wrong with this, man? It doesn't sound the same when I get it home. It's not as big." And this engineer that worked with me, named Dave Hassinger, he said, "Come on in the other room. Let me play you how good it has to sound in the studio to make it sound good at home." So he went in. He played me Satisfaction. He just cut the Stones. And man, I went, I get it.
Yeah. Play it louder, play it harder, and bring the mix up.
Yeah, well, you have to record it. It's got to be there in the grooves already.
Well, I've got one final question for you before I let you go here. So you had your 21 top 40 singles. Any favorites that fans can expect to hear from you this Saturday at the Gloys, or any deep cuts that they can expect?
No, we're not going to do deep cuts. For the first time in years, we're going to play our hits, which is really fresh. We hadn't done that, and we're going to give them one. We're going to give them a new song, and we didn't know where to put this song because it's very unusual. So we stuck it kind of in the middle of the set, and the reaction was so good. We now, if we're lucky enough to get an encore, we do it as an encore song. And I'm telling you, the most dangerous thing in the world you can do is to put in a new song after you've just played a ton of hits. And it gets the best reaction of the night, which is crazy. So I'm thrilled with that, to do something new that gets that much reaction. It's a good thing.
That's fantastic. It's a risky move, but I think people feel like it's really refreshing. So,
well, the guarantee that they cry and stand up. They stand up. It's crazy.
That's great. Well, Danny will be here with Three Dog Night for the Route 66 Festival this weekend. They'll be playing the historic Gloys Theater this Saturday night, celebrating cars and music and all things Route 66. Thank you for listening. I am Flash 104.7 The Cave, and thank you so much, Danny, for joining me today.
All right, hey, and everybody, just come on out and we'll spank your ears.
That's a good way to put it.